Howdy folks, you're watching Deuce, and today we're going to talk about Mechanix gloves. They are having a huge sale right now, and I cannot recommend Mechanix gloves enough. Unfortunately, I'm also overly caffeinated, and I've got to get this video out as quickly as possible because the sale's already started. So I'm going to have to slow my speech down so it don't sound like the Micro Machines man. Alrighty, so right now they've got a 20% sale that started earlier this week. I've already got my package because I bought all these myself. This is not a paid-for advertisement. This is not a promotion of any sort that I benefit from. I bought all this crap myself. As you can tell, I have a ton of Mechanix gloves that I've used over the years. I've worn out a couple of pair and thrown them out, of course, but I have pretty much every type and style that they have except for one, and that's what I just bought. All of my Mechanix gloves at this point have been the classic Mechanix gloves in just various colors with the Velcro. I like the Velcro on the wrist because I can put them on and then cinch that down. So then those are not going to slip. They're not going to come off. They are there to stay until I deem they come off. The black is good for true Mechanix work. You're changing oil. You're doing things underneath the hood of your engine, hood of your car. HVAC work, any kind of work that involves grease or oil, go with the black because the black really does hide all the different grease and grimes and stuff like that you're going to come across in that kind of scenario. If you're dealing with dirt, if you're dealing with farm implements, if you're dealing with tractors and you're dealing with red clay, especially red clay, if you're in Tennessee, you need the brown Coyote gloves because the red clay just blends right into this. No problems whatsoever. I use these on the farm during the summer. Now, why do I use gloves on the farm during the summer? Because Tennessee is a very hot state. It's a very sunny state. So I end up with, black rifles and black tools, and any tools in general, any kind of metal tool out there, baking in the sun, hits like 9,000 degrees, and I grab it with my bare hand like a moron and burn myself. So these really help me these save me from myself because I put these on and they're pretty cool. They're not as cool as your bare hands, but they're very airy. They don't cause a lot of sweat. And when they do get wet from sweat, they still have a good traction. The palm material is a synthetic leather that works really well even when wet. Now I've already torn these. These have been used quite a bit. I've washed them several times and they've held up pretty well. They're still stained a little bit, but that's just the nature of the beast. When you actually work with your tools and work with your gloves, you're going to get them dirty. You're going to get them torn. These are a consumable item that the more you work, the harder you work, the more of these you'll go through. Now, I do have these impact gloves. I think I got them on sale and I've never had any before. So I tried them out. And honestly, for the things that I do, I have no use for these whatsoever. These have the pads on the palm. These have the pads over the knuckles that, the silicone pads over the knuckles. And they look cool. They look kind of Iron Man-ish, but I have never needed these. I have never needed the extra padding. The extra padding on the palm was kind of nice on occasion when I'm doing some post hole digging. Let's take a look at what I actually bought. Because you get just a bag. I just bought like one pair of gloves and it comes with an extra little thing here for these mysterious times we're in today. And I've already had this out, so it's not a surprise to me. But I went ahead and bought the elastic gloves. These are the elastic gloves that they're called the Fast Fit. And it's elastic and they slide on and off very quickly. I've never had the Mechanix glove version of these, but I've never been a fan of elastic around the wrist because, there's a couple of reasons why. Number one is that it is not as secure. They slide right off. Now, they do hold on pretty well, especially if you're holding on to something. If you're holding on to something, it's not going to come off in your hand really, but they could get caught and come off, which, honestly, that might be a benefit around certain spinning machines. If you're working on a lathe, you probably shouldn't have gloves on anyway, but for some reason you got gloves on and you're near a lathe, that might be a good idea to have something that can come off very easily. But for the most part, I like the Velcro because it just holds on really well. Everything wears out eventually, and eventually this Velcro will wear out. But so far, I've always torn the glove. I've always done something to the glove itself before the Velcro. So usually the Velcro is still good when I've torn the rest of the glove open. And I get about 2 years or so out of a pair of gloves for the most part before I got to replace them. And so far, I've not had a problem with the Velcro wearing out first. We will see how long the elastic lasts. I may be the same scenario where the elastic lasts longer than the palm of the glove because I plan to put these through their paces. And another issue I've had with the elastic, and that is that you have an open wrist area there to collect dirt, to collect grime and grease and everything, to just fiddle its way down into your fingertips. And I'm not a fan of that either. I thought it was intriguing because it also came with a Mechanix wear mask. The new Mechanix wear face mask. It is made in the USA. It is a single layer of fabric with elastic bands sewn on the edges. The ear loops are uncomfortable. I cannot imagine this filtering very much, if anything at all, but it will get you through the front door of a business when they require a face mask. And that's probably about it. Per the Mechanix website, they offer a lot of things besides just gloves. I personally only have experience with their gloves. I don't know anything about their workwear. They sell shirts and stuff for the mechanic. I have no idea how good they are. No idea. Never even seen them in person. They also sell welding gloves, and I have seen those in person. I've never used them, but I've seen them in person. And just on initial evaluation, I'm going to say stick with Lincoln welding gloves. If you're going to be welding, handling really hot items, you cannot beat the old school Lincoln welding glove. I have grabbed onto hot smoldering iron that I've just welded and walked all the way across the shop several times and not felt a thing. You cannot beat the Lincoln welding gloves for welding. But when it comes to working on the farm, working with machinery, tactical situations, working under the hood of your car, it is hard to beat the classic Mechanix glove. Well, guys, that's it for me today. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give me a like and go subscribe. A lot more is on the way. If you have any comments, questions, or show ideas, leave that in the comment box of the video. Try to get those many of those as possible, so go ahead and leave your comments and suggestions. And if you have other options for gloves that you use, that would be fantastic. I want to see those other options because I'd love to try them out. If you want to stay on Deuce and Guns channel, go ahead and click on one of these two videos right over here. Now it'll keep you watching away. And as always, you guys have a great day. See ya.